Now I want to show you how my code runs for task 3 part 1, which is doing a bespoke statistical testing for comparing average height of JIF and derivative. So first thing first, I will show you what is my observed data for JIF and derivative and how much the average height of both species, and also the effect size or the gap between the averages of two species. So let's go up. So my JIF average height is 29, and for derivative is and the average or the gap, sorry, is 3.42. After getting this information, I also want to show you what is all my observed data for both species. If I call the histogram of JIF, my histogram be like this. So it's still wider range of the histogram, and I will make it more smooth by using a function which is histogram still, but with breaks. Here I'm not doing RKD, and I just want to try something else that not explained in the class with break sequence here. And I can show you that it will make the histogram more smooth. Yeah. So if you can see now, the histogram is smoothing. And I will take every data here of the JIFs to make a resimulation data for derivative, and then see what is the probability of getting the result. Is that significance or not significance difference? So basically, I call the histogram data from JIF histogram here with this function, with this variable, and then I will do a simulation 1000 times. In every simulation iteration, I will do also looping for creating a list of data for derivative, and then in every iteration for the second looping here, I will calculate the mean of all data that resulting from the second looping. And then after that, in every simulation until from 1 to 1000 simulation, I will change the trial counter here. So if the JIF average height from the observed data minus simulation mean that created from this looping, if the gap is larger than or equal than the effect size or the height average gap from both species in the observed data, the trial counter will be increased by 1. So finally, I will have the p-value here by dividing this number of the trial counter result with 1000, because I do it 1000 simulation times. Yeah. So the final result is we can know that average of observed JIF's height is this number, and for derivative's height is this number. So the gap between both species average height is 3.42. So 3.42 become my target value for judging whether there is significance or non-significance difference. And then the frequency of the simulation and also the observed data compared to the gap between both species data and the observed data is 744 times. So it's resulting in p-value to be 1.744, or it means that 74%. So by getting this p-value, if we compare to significance level both of either 1% or 5%, it shows that no significant difference between Dirichlet and also Jave's data using this simulation. So this is for the average, and for the maximum, I've already put the complete code for testing maximum height. The difference is just in the looping of getting the maximum one. So instead of using average, I use random maximum height, and I call the maximum data from my observed data here. The height gap now become maximum. Yeah, so here also difference in every iteration of second looping, I calculate the maximum number, and then in every iteration of 1000 simulation time, I will calculate the maximum height from my observed data and subtract with simulation maximum, and if it is larger or equal than height maximum gap, which is my effect size, I will add 1 to my trial counter. So finally I will get the p-value here. Yeah, it resulted in 1000 times larger than or equal to effect size, or the gap between the maximum height for both species. Why? Because like I wrote in my report, if we come back to the histogram of both species, we can see that there is no significant difference between maximum height for Jave and also Dirichlet here. It's still in the same range. Or for easier to see, we can see the maximum one is 30 and 34. It's same, 30 and 34. 30 and 35, I mean. It's also 30 and 35. So it looks like similar. Or even the p-value is 1. So absolutely no significant difference for both Javes and Dirichlet for maximum height. Yeah, that's all.